Why don't you give me a sign, like the sea that leaves a trail along that shore? It's not your problem, it's mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in, I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe, a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Hi, this is Alison Myers. I'm following up about the job opening in your design department. No, I already submitted a resume. No, I understand. It's already been filled. I see.
You enjoy your job?
This isn't really my job. I'm an architect. Just had setbacks.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, good
How
evening.
you doing?
Andy.
Hello.
Hiya, Joe, Lizzie, Michael. How are you doing over there? Is it as hot as it is here in the UK?
Not today, I don't think, but it's getting crispy out here. But we haven't. Doesn't feel like fire season yet, but soon enough, I'm sure.
It is absolutely boiling here, like
Stay
unprecedented
safe.
temperatures. I've got a fan in my face. That does normally happen.
Where are you chiming in from today?
I'm in the northeast of England.
Okay.
I'm up in near a place called Newcastle.
Okay.
We're about 100 kilometers from Edinburgh.
Okay.
So I'm right up in the north, where
Yeah.
Godspeed with the heat out there.
So
Yeah.
I obviously want to speak to you about this movie, and I've had a chance to watch it, Endangered. I might as well start with you, Michael, and then I'll come to you, Lizzie, in just a moment. Well, what was it about the character? I mean, we called him the passenger. What was it about the passenger that really came out from the script for you?
Sure. I think a common theme that we've been coming back to is just that there is no character in this film that is what they seem to be straight away, and so getting to lean into what we imagine the initial perception might be, and what we end the film thinking about these characters was obviously like a big piece of intrigue. And you always want to play interesting characters. You want to find dynamic roles for yourself and things that you think that you can do well and do your job well on. But I just think that knowing we get to have a lot of fun with what people will perceive the passenger as being initially, and how I think with each scene that unfolds, we start to look at both of these characters feeling like, maybe I don't really know what's going on at all. I guess I'll just have to, we'll wait for Act 3 to see what's really going on here.
I mean, Lizzie, you as well. I mean, I guess from my point of view, she starts off with this kind of businesswoman who seems quite vulnerable in the car, right? Mm-hmm. But then it's a total role reversal, isn't it?
Right. So I feel like I was drawn to her because she feels like she's done everything right. She did what she was supposed to do. She got very good grades. She had very good work ethic. She went to good school. She had this career path to become an architect, and that was her plan. And she's had setbacks and, can't quite, work in her dream career the way that she always thought. So she's having to make ends meet and do what she can. But I love that even when she's an Uber driver, or not Uber, excuse me, backseat.
Available.
Yes. She's a backseat driver. Even then she gets dressed for work. She puts on her blazer, she puts on her work clothes, and she goes to work. But I do love that throughout the film, we think, like you said, she's one thing, and she turns out to be even more resourceful and like Michael said, more than meets the eye toward the end. And I loved the prospect of being able to work on such a multi-layered character. And it was a wonderful challenge.
I mean, you know, obviously Drew has picked you both because the film centers around, you know, the movie centers around you two, in close proximity, really, aren't you? You're in a car for a very high percentage of this movie. Did that bring any sort of, you know, how was that filming inside? And a lot of the scenes are inside the car.
Yeah, I mean, Michael and I, for our almost first week of filming, we were entirely in the car, which was on a trailer, right? A process trailer that was driving. So I was not actually driving the whole time. But we didn't know each other before filming. We actually met on the first night of shooting for our scenes together. And so we got very close, very fast, spending all those hours in the car together.
And Michael, what about you? How did you find that process doing the film?
I loved it. You know, Lizzie and I both come from a theater training background. And so I think that being so used to a different type of rehearsal where you work it and you work it and you work it, and you know the people that you're working with pretty well and intimately by the time that you're in previews. Having realizing that we both had a similar education allowed for, I think, almost like this immediate trust of, you know, you get a sense of people very quickly too. So, and because we were going to be like 2 feet away from each other for the first week while we were shooting these, there was almost like no choice where it's like, well, we're going to know if we like each other sooner than later. And I think being able to lean into that and just recognize that Drew had kind of given us this gift where I think maybe I would have maybe made a different choice and would have wanted to meet Lizzie a couple of days, you know, as soon as I got there, to kind of start sussing out how we wanted to approach it. Being able to having Drew sort of guide us in that direction and give us the opportunity to really play that as fresh as possible, because we had just been meeting each other and I didn't know how Lizzie was going to approach the first scene to the second scene. Was exciting because it keeps you on your toes. It you know, it checks the work for you. It's like, are we ready to go? Are we not? And I think just the exhilaration of getting to throw all of that into like the first take was awesome.
I mean, obviously from a theatre background, I know for myself doing a lot of theatre and learning scripts, you know, you have a script to learn, you learn it and you're there. You know, this is obviously put you in good stead because you've learned that script on a theatre, but then you're doing parts of a script in takes. So I guess that's helped you make this film even further, even in those close scenes where you do have, there's a lot of dialogue in those scenes, isn't there? There's a lot of to and froing. So that's helped you obviously in having that theatre background.
Yeah, and we were filming many pages a night. So it was, and for those intimate scenes that are very dialogue heavy, it was a lot every night. You know, we had our sides printed and secretly hidden in all of the little compartments of the car. And by the end of the week, the passenger side pocket was just full of papers and sides from all the nights. It was great.
How did you find that, Michael, as well? I mean, that sort of difference between, I mean, I guess with a live audience as well, you get that instant reaction, don't you? You get that instant, wow, this is, you know, you get that from the audience. You're not getting that from a film set, are you? Only from the crew. How did you find that?
It was a great gift, because I think that, you know, the difference between this being for Lizzie and I, our first feature film experience, the sort of scared, excited feeling where you know that film technique and stage technique are so two completely different things. And so getting an opportunity to play the scene, not really any differently than you would if you were rehearsing it for the stage. You just don't have to hit the back wall, right? And being able to really, really bring it in tight, keep it very, very intimate, and trusting that that was the work that you needed to be doing. And I think Drew just being a great guide for us. I mean, I've had the benefit of working with Drew since we were actually kids. We've known each other. We go all the way back to elementary school. And so getting able to step into that space, knowing that we already had a shorthand, but never having this kind of opportunity to work together was a great thing to put me at ease initially. And then as soon as I met Lizzie, you know, just the very warm feeling of trust that I felt, where I was like, I don't think that there's anything. I know that whether it's from Lizzie or from Drew, Drew's going to keep us in the lines here, and there's nothing we can't blow it, because Drew is steering the ship, and that was awesome.
What was it like working with Drew then? I mean, obviously you've known him from a background, obviously a lot easier knowing that familiar face when you walk onto a set. What about you, Lizzie?
Drew and I, we got along great. We did not know each other before filming, but we developed a very quick rapport and lots of trust. And Drew and I would connect before every single scene that we were filming, and connect on, okay, where are we mentally? Like, where is Alison, the character, mentally? What does she want to show to the passenger? What does the audience need to see? And what is she actually thinking in her head? And it was a great back and forth. It was very, we got to bounce ideas off of each other. And I was so thankful for that guidance from him. But also, Drew, you helped us keep it light in between takes, because this is a very intense, dramatic piece. But the three of us, we made sure to keep it light. We made sure to have fun. And I think that definitely kept us sane through the whole month of night shoots that we did.
Yeah, especially because they were all night shoots. It's like,
yeah, it is
vampires for a month and go a little crazy together.
But I guess I know to come back that theatre to the background though, but we know that when we do shows, we do long runs, and we have to pace our bodies, don't we? We can't just go hell for leather, as they say, because we just burn out after the first week, wouldn't we? So again, I would think that theatre background has enabled you to train your body to work at different times of the day when your body clock is kind of maybe not as right as what it could be. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience to have to shift completely over and sleep during the day. But I think we all got through it without going too cuckoo. But yeah, I know Drew was operating on hardly any sleep, because he was the captain helming, the whole show. Michael and I got to sleep. But
yeah,
Drew,
we had to go back to the hotel and, head to bed around 8 a.m. where Drew's probably busy till 10, 11, wrapping things up every morning,
You guys give me too much credit. But we were a great team, because, a lot of the crew that was there, they were trying to still live a normal life on the weekends. And Michael, Lizzie, and I, we would say, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to switch our sleep schedule. We're going to sleep during the day, and then we're going to hang out together at night. And so we were all kept each other accountable in that way. But it also made it for, I think, an experience that I'm never going to forget, because it was just, as Lizzie said, it was fun. We made it fun for each other. And that, I think, was, I hope the next one will be like that, but you just never know. Who knows if I'll be able to work with Lizzie and Michael again. I hope so.
Joe, I was going to ask you about Lizzie and Michael. Obviously, I know you're there, but I'm going to ask you anyway. You might get a bit embarrassed, but obviously the casting process, those two main characters have got to have that chemistry, being in that close, as I said before, that close proximity, and the dialogues to and fro, fast, furious kind of dialogue, isn't it? What was it about those two that specifically matched what you had in your brain on that paper to put onto the screen?
That's a great question. So, as Lizzie mentioned, they had never met before they actually were on set for the first time together, and so it was the casting process was very interesting on this particular film. For these two leads, I knew that I needed to find two actors who I was more than confident in, that could do the work, that would be committed to this project, because there's no budget to go over. There were no reshoots, right? It was something that we had to nail on our shoot schedule, and it meant a level of commitment, I think, that it's can be difficult to find sometimes. And so having the previous relationship with Michael, and just knowing how professional he is and how talented he is, it was never a question in my mind that would he be able to do this role. And so that was actually what informed me a bit on not letting Michael and Lizzie see each other before the process started, was that I wanted to keep a little bit of distance there, because I knew knowing Michael, I knew that he would be fast friends with anyone. And through the audition process, getting to know Lizzie, and how generous and talented she was, I knew that they would be fast friends, and I didn't want that relationship to end up clouding these first scenes. I wanted them to kind of like develop this rapport together as the film played out. And for the most part, we shot it linearly. And so I think that what you're watching in the film is actually something that these two people are also experiencing in real life. And I think that it was a unique set of circumstances. And I feel so privileged to have been able to work with both Michael and Lizzie on this project, because I just can't imagine anyone else in these two roles.
I mean, what you have done is, watching it, I had a chance to watch it today, and it had me fooled. Yeah, had me fooled. Hands up. I mean, as a film, as a movie person, as an audience sitting watching it, I would only say that I think what you've done, Drew, is I think at that certain point in the movie, you're wanting the audience to go, whoa, I did not expect that. And I did that as an audience viewer. I literally did not have a clue what was happening until that pivotal moment. I won't mention anything about the premise, but there is a pivotal moment when there's a few flashbacks and things when we go, whoa, what's going on here? This is not quite what it seems, isn't it, Drew?
That's right. And that was something that was very important to everyone, from the writers, Adam Armstrong and Marcus DeVivo, to Michael, Lizzie, and I, when we were all on set together. We wanted that moment to not feel forced. We didn't want the audience to feel like we're ever lying to them throughout the process. We wanted it to be a perspective shift. We wanted people to see things in a completely different way. And I think that in general, the reaction to the film that we've gotten is that we did that right. If we didn't do anything else right, we did that right. So I think that it's really a testament to Michael and Lizzie and their ability to really understand the truth of these characters and play that truth on screen. And of course, a testament to the writing as well.
Of course, I mean, you'd have to be Inspector Clouseau to guess what's going to happen in this movie completely. I've never seen a movie so much where I have just been completely thrown, as in Poirot standards here, completely thrown by the plot. Right. I just like to go back to Lizzie and Michael again. Obviously, this being your first movie role other than a stage role, is anything you can take away from this, working with Drew and working in a set environment rather than a stage in a live theatre?
Yeah, I mean, I've done short films, I've done TV, commercials, but this was certainly the first role of this size that I've taken on. And it is kind of almost a proof to yourself that you can do it. It kind of feels like you're on the edge of a diving board and you're just gonna jump in and you're gonna see if you can swim or not. And obviously, you know, having a great support team is very important too. But I walked away kind of feeling like, yeah, like I did that. I rose to the challenge, and I can't wait to do it again, really. But also I took away the love of indie filmmaking, really, and having more of a connection to the behind the camera and to the team and the crew. And that's created kind of a desire in me to do more of that. And so hopefully doing some more producing down the line.
I just want to have one more question before we go. Just Michael, very quickly before we go, just let you answer this. How would you describe this movie in just maybe a sentence or two? I mean, it is a complete role reversal from, well, what I would say, there's a villain and then there's a heroine or whatever, and then there's something just quite the opposite in this. But how would you describe it?
I would describe it as a dark thriller, an entertaining, exhilarating dark thriller that is not what you think it is.
Definitely. 110%.
Yeah. If we've done our job, it's not what you think it is, even though hopefully you'll have a great time along the way, you know.
Well, thank you,
and
Mike.
I just love the ending. I love the ending.
It's a great ending. It's a great ending. Well, I think the audience come out going, oh, hey, come on. I'll hold my hand up. I did not see it coming. Yeah, right. So it's quite different. It's not the usual type of film ending either, because it's completely away from what you would normally see in a film, I think. It's completely thrown on the other side. I was completely thrown by it. But Michael, Lizzie and Drew, thank you for joining us at the Fan Carpet. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It's night time here in the UK, so I'll be off to bed shortly. But have a great day.
All right.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you.
Andy.
Nice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
What about you, little Mr. Hammer? What are you really about?
Let me ask you something. What's been the worst night of your life?
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, with the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels. It's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.